shoot her, but she's sitting there by her, and all of a sudden, the building starts to crumble, it's building fear, and it kills the mother. So that's the way they get the murder in.
I
And,
see.
and by cutting that scene out where the girl's like, you don't know
What happened?
where she came from.
Yeah.
And then later on, the cops are hunting for him, and he rushes in, says, "You gotta hide me." She's in a great big four-poster bed. He gets down at the, and they said, "Cops come, we heard voices." She points to the phone, you know, and then he goes out and gets in a speedboat, needs an Aldi, and they go, and there's a famous picture in Protestant church windows, Rock of Ages, shows a girl hanging onto this granite rock, and she's on a little island, and the water's coming in, and so of course he had to get that in there, and so it shows Leah Destroy hanging on, you know, and then the husband comes up and he says, and I mean, the good boy that
Yes.
he was a carpenter like Jesus, of course.
Uh-huh.
And Richard Dixie is a clean-cut American type. So then she says, "Don't touch me, I'm branded." and you know,
Mark lady,
she
huh?
thinks she has leprosy from the girl, and so then she says, "Look, in the light it's gone." She says, "Yes, in the light," you know, big. And then I played
Rock of Ages.
oh my, that just is so wonderful for the audience, you know, if you
Sure.
only have that part that he cut out, but that didn't make a bit of sense. So that,
Yeah, fill in
and
for
then
it.
he and the girl are smashed into a boulder and drowned, and
Oh,
it all
good
ends
Lord.
happily. That was quite an experience. That
How do you remember all these stories?
well, that made you see, I played for that show at least 5 times,
Okay.
and in that week,
Mhm.
and that made such an impression. It's quite a marvelous epic, you know. And then he made the Ten Commandments again, only the first part, and in color and all. But the first one was quite impressive.
Bet it was.
I wouldn't go over it now, of course, but I mean, but it's interesting to see how the entertainment industry was. Are we ready to go?
Yep.
We want to do.
You want to state what this is all about? This is my birthday, my 78th birthday. That's me.
Do you think we
Right.
should sing Happy Birthday?
Yeah, we can start off with that. That's not all you're going to play.
See ya.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Okay. Now, shall we play Mona Lisa?
Mona Lisa, yeah. Anything you want to play, but I just thought that would be. terrific. Boy, you know how
Well,
to make
here's-
changes, get those little subtleties in there. Oh, you make it sound so
Now,
good.
let's see what, faraway places?
Yeah, faraway places.
Let me figure a key for you.
Okay.
Let's see,
Those faraway places, those faraway places with strange sounding names are far away over the sea. Those faraway places with their strange sounding names.
Let me put a microphone on you.
Wait a minute, you're gonna put a microphone on me. On me.
I think it should be a tone higher than.
And to get this manual to play so beautifully, what do you push there? The same button?
Well,
This
I
is
guess
still
you
the
need
same?
two. This is one that's
Uh-huh.
very sweet. Mostly that's good for accompanying, and then this is very sweet. But I set it up, you see, this was dependent on, I set it up so that the
Okay.
reverse like that. This is what gives me the full organ effect. I set it there. These only two I can set,
Mhm.
and then I reverse them. This one goes with that, and I set that one here to accompany it. And then this is the one that's very sweet, and sometimes the one that's very sweet is not too good to accompany. It just depends on how it sounds. Sometimes it's better depending on the piece and the mood and so forth.
Mhm.
So those are the only ones I can set,
Okay.
and this is what it's dependent on, and you can experiment and find out. Then, as I say, all these others, as long as you have everything else off, they'll you can find that they are and use them when you know what they are.
So this fourth or third, these keys supply or govern what happens on this first manual. Is that correct? When that's down
On the B natural, yeah.
on the B natural.
Mhm.
Well,
And then these are for the B for the A sharp. They don't have any flats in music.
uh-huh.
In the technical music. So this is A sharp. Set that any way you want, but that's the way I set them. Sweet and full and sweet.
Sweet and full and sweet. I say sweet and full and sweet. Oh yeah, sweet and sweet. Yes, those four. Okay, those the white keys, and but there's a name for those. That set of keys, that bank of keys over there.
Then later on, they started. That is the Hammond company started labeling these.
Yeah, I have some labels. I never knew I had them, but we're sitting on them. They've been in a seat ever since I've had probably long before I ever got the organ. And I was looking at them yesterday. I said, "Man, I didn't know about that. I don't even know where they put the labels. Where would they sit? Do they stick the labels up here? Do they
No,
put
you
the
put-
labels
you
here?
They go on these.
On this part,
They go on the
over there.
black and white
Really?
reverse keys. He was a clockmaker, you know, and he didn't know anything about organ,
Uh-huh.
and that's so confusing.
It
Why
is.
they should make them look like you think maybe it's going to be more keys, you know,
Uh-huh.
but
The upper, lower manual. Black and white keys. Okay. You know, I've gotten more from you this one evening and explaining this than I have been able to get from anybody. Because nobody seems to know what to do with the
No.
organ, Hammond.
right.
Hammond.
well,
What
I
do
was
you
there when they were
decide?
invented in 1935. It came out,
It did.
and they had the. See, we didn't. Any of us know. We thought that vibrato, any beautiful voice has a vibrato,
Mm-hmm.
and we thought it was louder and softer.
Mm-hmm.
So they had this vibrato, and it got louder and softer, and it didn't do anything to the tone. It was so funny.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't understand why it didn't sound beautiful. And then they got the idea, well, when a whole bunch of violins play together, even though they're very accurate, they don't all have exactly the same pitch. They make their own pitch. So they made a device on a pipe organ where they tune, see there are 61 keys on an organ keyboard, and
That's for the whole bank of keys, 61. I haven't counted that.
you see,
I read that the other
there
day.
are 12 keys to an octave,
Okay.
and then you double the C, that makes it 61. There's a 12, 5 12s are 60.
Yeah.
Are they?
5 12s is 60.
Yeah.
That's what it used to be,
Yeah.
unless they changed them.
Yeah. And so they made 61 keys.
Yeah, okay.
Well, they used to have 61 pipes. They would make 61 pipes very thin, like as thin as a pencil,
Mm-hmm.
and that gave a very thin tone, gave a lot of harmonic and very little of the fundamental,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'd make another set like that and tune it maybe 5 vibrations sharper, and they call that a celeste. And so then the Hammond thought, well, we'll put another set of see, the way that Hammond discovered that by making a wheel go around, he could make a sustained tone. That's how it all started. And
Mm-hmm.
so then he thought, well, an organ is a sustained tone, so he put them out on these organ consoles, and the organ companies, pipe organ companies, sued him right away, said he couldn't call it an organ because it had no air, and he won. So he was
Okay.
able to use the word Hammond organ, the electronic organ.
Mm-hmm.
So he tried that idea they'd use on the pipes. So he put let's see, 4 12s of 49. He put 49 wheels from here to there, a little bit sharp, and it said that'll kill all. Well, it didn't. And then Don Leslie, he was driving during election time,
Mm-hmm.
and down the main street of Valley Boulevard in Alhambra. And at that time, they had radio stations, and they played music all the time, a few of them.
All right.
And so they had a sandwich board on the back of a pickup truck, and had,
Excuse me a minute. Can we get a little air, Thomas? Okay. That's okay, because it's getting hot over here. I don't know if you feel the heat or not. Now I'll let him go ahead and do what he's doing there. I'll just turn a little air on. Let me know if it gets too airish for you, Mr. Mitchell. Okay. Oh, he heard me.
The,
Okay.
so there were these posters, vote for so-and-so on each side of a sandwich, and it had the radio going full blast. As it went past, he went, wow! And he realized when that comes closer, it sounds louder, I mean higher. When it goes away, it goes lower, yet it doesn't change. And so that was called the Doppler principle, and
The Doppler, I've heard of that.
I mean,
but
a
didn't know what-
Doppler, I think.
Yes, I've heard that.
And so he thought, well, he would try to reproduce that. So he went out to the washing machine,
Mm-hmm.
and he took out the dryer, and he had this little ready-cut home. His wife came down to KHJ, says, do you own a Hammond organ? I laughed because I was so broke. She says, I said, no. She said, well, don't buy one. Not much chance. These are
Really?
my husband's invention. And so I went out there one Sunday, and he had this little tiny house. He had cut a hole from the bathroom into the living room, and then he had a couple of curtains hanging on each side,
Mm-hmm.
and he took her dryer, and he got a dollar speaker, real raspy, but he put that on the dryer,
Mm-hmm.
and then he hooked he hooked it up with his Hammond in the front room, and while it was raspy, it sang like this does. I mean,
That
See,
sounds
now-
like a tremolo then.
now you shut that off.
Would it be right here in the middle?
Yeah.
In the middle? There. Would that shut that off?
Yeah. When it changes the tone.
Oh.
That's how he does it, and it's whirling around.
Mm-hmm.
Now they've got such advances. The new organs you get, they don't have it whirl around anymore. They can do that electronically somehow.
Yeah.
It's the same sound, but anyway, that's what.
That was the original sound.
And this made it sound just like the organs in the theaters. It was so strange. This genius, Hope Jones, an Englishman, came over. He had discovered that by using low-grade electricity, such as is used in telephones,
Mm-hmm.
in England, officially everybody was supposed to belong to the Church of England.
Okay.
And so they were always buried around the church, so the cemetery and the churchyard were one and the same thing. And so for 1 year, he built a console of an organ and a little shed, and then taking this low-grade telephone, or he hooked the organ up with the pipe organ. See, the organ always had to be right with the pipes, and when you put the